I, Chair Thomas Kyle, call the Hybrid Electrical and Elevator Board meeting of July 25th, 2024 to order at 9:30 a.m. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. In the room, Chair Thomas Kyle.
Present.
Also in the room, Vice Chair John Flagel.
Present.
Our new board member who is connected virtually, David Albritton. David?
I'm present.
Thank you. William Barlow. Okay, we'll come back to him. Elizabeth Bunga, connected virtually.
All right.
Here.
Thank you. Robert Lazalier,
Here.
also connected virtually.
Here.
Thank you. Robert McNeil.
Here.
Thank you. Ryan Richards, who's present in the room.
Here.
Richard Rudder. Al Shucker,
Here.
connected virtually. Ken Spencer, present in the room. Ken?
Here.
Frank Sonneban.
Here.
Thank you. And Sarah Young, connected virtually.
Here.
Is William Barlow connected? Okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. If no other additional changes or to the agenda or the order of business are made, I rule that the agenda is approved. This is item 1D, draft board meetings. Any corrections from anybody? I, Chair Kyle, rule the draft meetings of May 23rd, 2024 final. The date of the next meeting is September 26, 2024. Okay. We're welcoming a new board member to this meeting, David Albritton. David was confirmed May 30th, 2024 to the Electrical and Elevator Board in position representing the industrial plants representative. His term began June 5th, 2024, and is serving a partial 4-year term ending June 30th, 2025. I think David is connected. Would you like to say something about yourself and why you're here?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm Dave Albritton. I'm excited to be a part of the board. Oregon has so I was an electrical inspector in Florida. Oregon has by far the best license program I've ever experienced. I've worked in various other states. My background is mostly industrial. My first license was right here in Oregon. I have a plant journeyman license. I also have a general now as well, but so I've been in the industrial plant, environment for, a large portion of my career. So I just want to be part of the board, part of the code making process, part of the part of the group that helps make Oregon homes safer and installation safer and practical and all those sorts of things. I'm not sure what else to say.
Okay, thank you and welcome, David. I guess public comment. Ian, do we have somebody on board?
Yes, thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Pick, analyst with the division. We received one request to provide general public comment to the board. Mr. Greenway, are you present, and would you like to provide general public comment to the board?
My name is Robert Greenway, live in Dallas. Greetings to all of you. I'm supposed to address the head or however that works, I remember. Anyway, first thing I want to do is apologize for being here and taking up your time, the 5 minutes, because the reason I'm on here has nothing to do with electrical. Even though I am familiar with electrical in my previous lifetime and 40 years of putting in pumps, industrial, mechanical, commercial, or cities, municipalities and stuff. So I do recognize the importance of electrical people, probably if not the most important division that you guys have, probably next to plumbing. The reason I'm here is because of the BCD, okay? I've been fighting with them for going on 5-6 months and keep getting the runaround and the runaround and the runaround. So this is my only outlet to speak, because I've been kicked out of the other side over there because they don't want to listen to me anymore. And I keep going around with certain people. Been to the to even, I don't know if you guys know, Sean O'Day, who's the deputy assistant or something, you know, of the BSDC or whatever that place is called. And I'm just flabbergasted at the unprofessionalism of their way that they handle things. When I'm talking to you guys, like I said, is because nobody else will listen, and I'm hoping that some of the other people that are part of the board and stuff that are here will take me seriously when I've put out forth problems with certain codes and inspectors. It's all started when I lived in Dallas, and the inspectors are basically, to put it mildly, lying to the people and to me and to the city, but they said they want to handle it internally. This is the last thing I got from certain people in the Building Codes Division. That is the building code. Oh, we lost it now. Oh, there we go. The building code provides flexibility for owners, contractors. The building code also provides flexibility for the building official and his or her designees to approve methods and materials that differ from the prospective path provided by the code. Section 104, which you guys would have things to know because it would affect you too, gives the building official the authority to interpret the code, to clarify the application of the code, gives the building official authority to approve materials, equipment, and devices. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. I'm sure in Mr. Frank over here, which I saw as an inspector, you know, there's probably only so much that you can do because the code, especially for electrical, is pretty cut and dry. So I don't think, and they use the word interpret, you know. I'm sure when you go out there, somebody puts, I think what the code says is per circuit, there's only supposed to be 12 outlets or something. If somebody puts in 13 or 14, I'm pretty sure you're not going to interpret that as okay or flexibility. Size of breakers and stuff like that, there's certain things that you're not going to be flexible on or interpret differently. Well, the other people, which I'm referring to, the mechanical board, and the people that are covering for them seem to go willy-nilly in whatever they want. You know, there's certain things that are cut and dry and has to be done, and they don't seem to want to do it. You know, just like example for flexibility, you know, there is certain things for flexibility. Let's take, for instance, the code for crawl space, a number of vents for a house. There's supposed to be so many size of vent and 150 square foot per vent, okay? If you don't have that number of vents, then the flexibility is that they put in a mechanical vent. So that doesn't change, you know, what the capabilities are. But I've been fighting with the mechanical division, who swears up and down that they have nothing to do with residential, which they do. They're the ones that wrote the code for this particular thing. And, you know, it's cut and dry what it says in there. The inspectors don't do their job. I'm specifically talking about the city of Dallas, and the normal people here that's supposed to be overseeing them. Sims and stuff won't do anything about it. The city won't do anything about it, so I'm here to do something about it. And I keep telling them, you know, as long as I have a breath in me, I'm not going away until they fix the problem. The reason I got involved in it is because I bought a house in Dallas and found all these code deficiencies and stuff that weren't, you know, that people make up stuff as they go along, you know, and there is no interpretation, you know, for this one code. I put it to them and stuff. If it says you have to have, you know, like in your electrical, if it says you have to have a certain size breaker, you can't have a different size breaker. You know, a circuit, you know, a 30 amp circuit has to have a 30, if a number 8 wire has to have a 40, you know, or whatever the certain things are. There's no interpretation for that. And that's what I tried to point out to them, you know, an interpretation of what they're doing for the 1505.4 thing, and they keep willy-nillying around, you know, and don't take me seriously. And like I said, the only reason I'm here is to put forth my displeasure with the Building Codes Division, not necessarily you, because I haven't, you know, run into anything, but with the plumbing thing, I've been to that. I've been to RCM or whatever that's called division, and it's like a I don't know, a merry-go-round. You know, there's nothing. You know, if you have flexibility interpret, then you know, and certain things are set in stone. You know, like the certain size of pipe. You know, it says that a certain feeder pipe to a house has to be a certain size. There is no interpretation. It has to be that size. It has to be that quantity. It has to be that material. You know, so anyway, I don't know if my 5 minutes are up.
Yes, Dave, sorry, Robert, they are up, but.
Okay, well then I'm done. I did my thing, and again, I want to apologize to you guys for taking up your time, but this is the only way I have a reaction to, because nobody else will listen. You know, these other people in these other divisions are supposed to be professional. I was in my field a professional for 40 years, you know, and I just and I had to abide by, because I was the contractor, I had to abide by what the plumbing and the electrical codes were for pumps and stuff like that. When it comes the other way around, when I'm going to you guys and says you're not, you know, you come to me and I have to fix it, you know, because you have plans and codes and stuff that have to be adhered to. When it goes the other way, where I'm telling you, you know, that you're wrong and not doing your job, then that's when the runner comes around. It's a double standard. So anyway.
All right. Thank you, Robert. You're on the official record now.
Yes, I know. I hate it, so hopefully somebody listen.
Okay.
And again, I do apologize for taking up your precious time, you know, for my 5 minutes for this, but something needs to be said for the VII.B.
Agenda item 3A, electrical program update. Brian?
Was there any other public comment?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to take just a moment in case there's anyone else in the room or online that would like to provide general public comment to the board. Hearing none, that concludes general public comment. Thank you.
Good morning. For the record, Brian Crise, Electrical Program Chief. The OBOA live Q&A sessions for the Oregon Electrical Specialty Code Table 1E amendments were held last month. I thought they were well attended, and feedback from the sessions have been positive. I'm finalizing the language for a statewide interpretation regarding receptacle outlets below kitchen countertops. I'd hoped to have this ready for you by this board meeting, but it's not quite there yet. There are more steps than you think to issuing a statewide interpretation. I've received many comments from the electrical industry that has helped shape this interpretation, and I want to thank those that have supplied those comments on this topic. We have identified some errata changes in the Table 1E, the OASC amendments that need to be made. This will go through a rules-making process that is scheduled for January 1st. None of the changes are technical or create new code requirements, just some minor changes. We'll send out notification of this rulemaking meeting to you through an email update. Sign up to receive these email updates on our website. It's a good way to keep track of all the things that are happening at Building Codes Division. The general journeyman license and the limited residential license expire October 1st this year. The registration process opens up 45 days before that date, which makes it next month. Staff has started the process of mailing out renewal notices this week. They were actually working on that when I left the office here. Between the two Between the two license types, there are 13,348 active licenses to renew by October 1st. To help our office staff out and avoid last-minute problems, please renew your license early in the process. Assistant Chief Damon and myself have been answering the day-to-day calls from industry regarding licensing and code requirements and code questions. Please remember to involve your local AHJ with your questions. They are oftentimes a part of the solution. That's my update for the board today. Does anyone have any questions for me? Mr. Chair, that's my electrical program update.
Okay, thank you, Chair Chris. Agenda 3B, elevator program update. Is Warren on board?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Warron Hartung, Chief Elevator Inspector, Statewide Services. Before you have the Inspector Productivity Report, along with the accident reports for the reporting period. You have me at a disadvantage. I have not looked at those yet, but I'm willing to answer any questions you may have. If there are no questions, Mr. Chairman, that would conclude my report.
Okay, thank you, Chair Hartung. Item 3C. This is Kathy Rowell, contested case representative.
Good morning, Chair Kyle and other members of the board. For the record, my name is Kathy Rowell, contested case representative for the division. Before we get to agenda item 3C and consent orders, I wanted to give the board a brief update on a field trip that enforcement took down to Southern Oregon shortly after the last board meeting. We went down, I think, June 5th to the Crater Lake, IBEW Crater Lake Training Center, and we had 3 investigators, 2 CCRs, 1 administrative assistant, Andrea Simmons, our manager, and we also had a couple of members of the CCB down with us, and also did a number of site checks while we were down there, and I think that IBEW appreciated us being there. For statistics of our trip, we visited approximately 56 job sites. We talked to approximately 80 people, licensed and unlicensed, and we are currently looking at approximately 3 cases for further investigation from that trip. It was actually a lot of fun, and we hope to do it again. Now, agenda item number 3C before the board is the summary of consent orders recently negotiated by the division on the board's behalf for settlement prior to hearing. We've entered into consent agreements in 8 cases since our last board meeting. All settlements, including the amount owed in suspended civil penalties, fall within the guidelines on the penalty matrix and contain standard conditions. Board action is required on these cases. All these cases are fairly standard, and I'm available to answer any questions you have regarding any of these cases. So the chart that you have and the orders that you had in your packet, starting at the beginning, we have 2 related cases, C-2020-0071 and C-2020-0122, Adam Johnston and I guess it's Furley, I would guess, Estep. These are both similar of unlicensed work where the 2 people did the work without proper licensing in Springfield. Dates of violation 2018-2019. Both cases have an assessed amount of $4,000, penalties and imposed of $500, suspended amount of $3,500. The next case is C-2023-143, Aaron Mark McCoy, removal in place of bathroom exhaust fan, electrical receptacles, and electrical wiring with no electrical contractor license, no supervising license, journeyman license, or any LRU license, no electrical permit in Portland, December of 2022, assessed penalties of $6,000, imposed of $1,250, suspended of $4,750. The next 2 cases on the list are also related cases, Greater Purpose Heating and Cooling LLC and Leroy Urenda, C-2023-0130 and C-2024-0017. This involved the installation of a new electrical disconnect box to the side of the HVAC unit and connected pre-existing 6-2 NM copper wire from the electrical panel to the new electrical disconnect box. I believe this was at a restaurant. No electrical contractor license, allowing unlicensed work, no electrical permit in Umatilla. August 2022, assessed amount of $6,000, imposed $1,250, suspended of $47.50, and then Mr. Yorinda, the owner of the company that did the work, he had no proper licensing, assessed $2,000, imposed $500, suspended of $1,500. The next three cases are also related cases: Honey Woodja and Richard Oborn and Mary Jean Pickney. This involved the installation of a new 200 ampere electrical distribution panel and other related electrical products related to the installation of an elevator, I believe, in someone's house. They didn't actually install the elevator. They were prepping the work for the installation of the elevator shaft and that kind of thing. So those three cases are related: C 2024-53, C 2024-54, and C 2024-55. The company got the no electrical contractor license and allowing unlicensed work, and then the two employees, owners, got the doing unlicensed work at the Pacific City residence. For the company, it's a $7,000 assessed penalties, imposed of $2,000, suspended of $5,000, and for the two employees, they got assessed $2,000, imposed $500, and suspended $1,500. Are there any questions today from the board on these cases? So on these cases, we will need a vote.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 8 cases proposed in the resolution as outlined in the Enforcement Board report and issue final orders.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded for all 8 cases to be approved. Any further discussion? Debbie, would you call a roll?
Yes, sir. Sarah Young,
Aye.
Frank Sonovan,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Al Shecker,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
David Albritton,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion carried unanimously.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you very much.
All right. Item 3D, summary of enforcement cases.
Yes, thank you, Chair Kyle and other members of the board. We have 4 cases today that are default orders. No board action is required, but I just wanted to make sure you were aware of them. The first case on the list, C 2021-0086, Scott Ledoux, signing supervisor, electrician. That's related to the TML International case that was on the agenda in May that y'all approved. This is the actual signing supervisor. So his signing supervisor license has been revoked, and he's disqualified from holding an Oregon electrical license for a period of 5 years. The next case is C 2024-0027, Roy Dean Wall, advertising, no electrical contractor's license, $3,000 penalty. The next case is C 2023-147, Joel Aguilar, advertising on Facebook with no electrical contractor's license out of Hillsborough, $3,000. And then the final case, C 2023-0082, Universal Home Services LLC, installation of 2 new lighting fixtures without proper licensing, $6,000 total penalty. So again, that's just to report that information sheet, but no board action is required. Are there any questions on any of these cases?
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so much.
I see there's no communications or appeals or unfinished business, so agenda item 7A, approved electrical chief's recommendations for continuing education courses and instructors. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. With this agenda item, the division requests the board consider electrical chief Crise's recommendations regarding the continuing education courses and instructors. In July, during the CE review cycle, Chief Crise evaluated 70 applications from 17 organizations. Ultimately, Chief Crise recommended 42 courses and 16 instructors for approval, and 11 courses and 1 instructor were not recommended for approval. Importantly, there will be an amendment to the matrix before you. On item 35, Clackamas Community College's NFPA 70E live course, it will be approved for 8 CR hours, not 10 CR hours. This agenda item will require a motion, examples of which are included in your agenda packet. Also, Chief Crise is available for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
To clarify, is there a change in what was printed on the agenda?
Yes, so if you look at item 35 in your matrix, it will be Clackamas Community College's NFPA 70E course. It is marked for 10 CR hours in the matrix, though it was reviewed and approved for 8 hours. So that is just a typo that we are now amending here as a group.
I'd like to make a motion to amend and approve the electrical program chief's recommendations for approval or denial of courses or instructors by amending the live course number 35, Clackamas Community College, for 8 hours of credit and not 10 hours.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve the revised schedule or list. Or any discussion? Okay, Debbie, would you call a roll?
Yes, sir. Sarah Young,
Aye.
Frank Sonnabend,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
David Albritton,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion carried unanimously.
Okay, agenda item B. This is review request from Clackamas Community College for retroactive credit for participants of course ID, given in June. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, Analyst with the Division. This agenda item has been brought to the board by Tiffany Kreisel of Clackamas Community College. It is a retroactive CE credit request for a class held on June 22nd, and it is requesting 8 hours of retroactive CR continuing education credit for the students that participated in the course. This course was just approved for 8 hours in the previous agenda item for CE today. The request letter is included in your agenda packet, and this agenda item will require a motion, examples of which are included in your agenda packet. Tiffany Kreisel, are you present, and would you like to speak on this agenda item?
Hi, good morning. I'm Tiffany Kreisel, Clackamas Community College. I submitted a letter to you on July 16th requesting the credit, and the class was run on June 22nd. We received a tentative approval letter on May 23rd. Happy to answer any questions.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend the approval for the request from Clackamas Community College for retroactive credit for participants of course ID number 6401003, given June 22nd of 2024.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to retroactively approve the course presented. Any discussion? Debbie, would you call a roll?
Yes, sir. Sarah Young,
Aye.
Frank Sonnabend,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
David Albritton,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel,
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 8 on the agenda. Are there any announcements or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, there being no further business of the July 25th, 2024 Electrical Elevator Board meeting is adjourned at 10 o'clock. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe, everyone.